North Korea's soldiers, a closer look at the military's fake capabilities. North Korea is flexing its military muscles again this week. On Tuesday, the South Korean military reportedly confirmed that Pyongyang was conducting a massive live-fire artillery drill. A top North Korean official is reportedly warning that a brutal punishment awaits the so-called warmongers in the US and elsewhere. And while Pyongyang is promising to attack in the sky and land as well as at sea, a closer look at images of North Korean soldiers reveals that their fighting force may be better suited for propaganda than actual battle. North Korea typically puts on its more headline-grabbing displays to mark some sort of anniversary, and Tuesday was no exception. The artillery drills come on the 85th anniversary of the founding of the nation's military. Less than 2 weeks ago, we saw both a failed ballistic missile test and a large military parade to mark the 105th birthday of the country's founder, Kim Il-sung. North Korea put a variety of new missiles on display during the April 15th parade, and while at least one of them was reportedly a prototype, some experts thought they spotted actual fakes. However, a closer look at some of the soldiers in that parade suggests those missiles may not have been the only things that weren't quite battle-ready. This was more about sending a message than being combat effective, said Michael Prigent, a former Army intelligence officer with over 28 years of experience working conflicts around the world and now an adjunct fellow at the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C. Prigent took a look at several photos of North Korean soldiers from the April 15th parade and immediately began poking holes in them. Below are some of the takeaways he shared with Fox's investigative unit. Commandos or caricatures? Some of the most memorable images to emerge from North Korea's dramatic parade featured the Special Operations Commandos who were carrying what appeared to be AK-47s with grenade-launching capabilities. "There's just one problem," Prigent said. "Where are the magazines? There's no place for the magazine to go with the mock grenade launcher in the way," Prigent noted, calling it a fake capability. "It's not just the weapons those commandos are holding that are fake," Prigent claims, and it seems some of the equipment on display would make for a better fashion show than a foxhole. Prigent claims that the type of sunglasses being worn by those same troops looks like a flat face frame, and that's not ballistic. That would wrap around and would also protect your eyes. Even the fingerless gloves being sported by some of those soldiers are more for show, according to Prigent. "Some of our guys do have them, but most guys go all the way with full gloves based on the heat of the barrel from a round, not to mention they're fire-resistant if you need to pick up something. Fake projectiles." Some of the other eye-drawing items in the North Korean parade, items that may have zero combat application, are the seemingly oversized projectiles affixed to the end of some of those soldiers' rifles. And while they apparently come in a variety of shapes and colors, Prigent calls them laughable. "If you look, you can see the plastic is over the muzzle," Prigent said. And while he admits that some of the North Korean rebounds per game capabilities could be real, the projectiles themselves would have to be fake because Kim Jong-un doesn't want them to launch one at the viewing stand, whether by accident or on purpose. Also fake, Prigent believes, are what appear to be silver-plated rifles being held by some of the soldiers who seem more front and center than the others. Saddam had gold-plated handguns, and even he wouldn't give them to his troops, so these are most likely painted, Prigent said. Despite the fakes, a reason to fear. There may be questions about North Korea's capabilities when it comes to effectiveness on the ground, ballistic missiles and even nuclear capabilities, but experts agree that the artillery units being tested this week present a clear and present danger to our allies. George Friedman, founder of Geopolitical Futures, told Tucker Carlson recently that given those heavily fortified and strategically placed artillery units, if they open fire on Seoul, there is going to be a holocaust. He added that taking out all of those units is not going to be an easy job. That's not going to be a one-day strike. Prigozhin agrees, and raises an important point: they have a legitimate military capability with their artillery. Why pretend in other spaces?